Reinhard is easily one of the best characters within ReZero, and also one of the best representations of the strongest within fiction. Where ReZero is built upon the theme that growth is only available through emotional truth, Reinhard is paradoxical to this idea. While cumulatively he is the strongest within the series, he is also one of the most trapped characters. From the very first moment we see Reinhard, he is characterized as everything Subaru wanted and thought he was going to be when he was originally isekai to this world. Despite this, we're given a glimpse at Reinhard's internalized conflict with his family and the burden that he has being the Sword Saint. It's this strength that was given to him surprisingly and taken from his grandmother Theresia that cuts him off from his family, and in turn also represents his cutoff from the world. The moment Reinhard got the name of Sword Saint, growth became impossible, and he eventually became a slave to that name. Just as Puck says, Reinhard is a hero, and a hero is all he could ever be. He's a monster who hunts monsters. This is all due to the burden of strength that he carries and the disconnect that this causes from the world. Where we see other characters like Subaru and Emilia and Rem grow through emotional vulnerability and opening up to the people around them, there's no chance for Reinhard to grow. He's already the strongest, and any problem that he really had could be solved within brute strength. Whereas Subaru's strength comes from his vulnerability, it's Reinhard's lack of vulnerability that causes his strength. His ability to stay stoic at all times and impose justice and not really care about his family problems makes him who he is. Reinhard is a slave to the idealized image of justice that the kingdom threw upon him from a young age. It honestly delves into the nature versus nurture topic. While by nature Reinhard was given all these powers and these abilities, it was the nurturing of his family and the reaction that happened once he was given these abilities which really made him into the monster that he is. Reinhard is more so a symbol, a myth, than he actually is a man and a human being who can connect with the people around him, only further deepened and strengthened by the emotional neglect he faced from a young age due to what happened to his grandmother. It makes his foil with Subaru so much more interesting, where Subaru deals within sin, Reinhard deals within virtue. Subaru is able to constantly reject fate and push forward through attempts over and over again, whereas Reinhard accepts his fate in the person that he is. He's a static figure and does what he's told. Overall, what ReZero is trying to say about Reinhard is that strength without emotional depth or vulnerability is hollow inside, and that this idea of perfection is something that is inherently not human. He shows that this idea of perfectionism and, being this hero that Subaru originally wants to be when isekai is honestly something that's hollow and disconnects you from the people around you. He's ultimately a tragic figure within the series, masked as this symbol of hope. He can never struggle, he can never fail, and he can never break down. It's his inability to break down that leads to his lack of choice, which lacks him from ever evolving as a person. It ultimately takes away the idea of him being a man and leaves him just as the idea of a hero. His power is able to protect others, but ultimately it imprisons himself. In contrast, Subaru's emotional vulnerability and, having to fail over and over again to actually move on in life is what evolves him as a person and truly makes him human. Reinhard is revered by the world, but is ultimately emotionally stagnant, while Subaru is someone who is a very emotionally complex person and has been able to build so many connections with so many people. Ultimately, Reinhard is a representation of why Subaru was wrong when originally isekai to the world. He shows that while being the strongest may be cool, it ultimately is something that's not desirable, and the path Subaru is on right now is a much better one for him as a person. But yeah, what do you guys think?